Hi guys, Root Beer here. In this video I thought I'd talk about contest preparation, or more specifically what to do the day of your contest. Okay, so hopefully in the week or the 2 weeks leading up to the contest you've done things like found out where you're writing, how long you'll be writing, and all the fun stuff I talked about in the short-term video. So now you're preparing to get to the contest. You're thinking maybe night beforehand if the contest is being written in the morning, or you're looking at what are you doing the day of if your contest is being written in sort of the afternoon or the evening. Okay, so first things first, get yourself a good night's sleep. No one wants to write a contest with their brain sort of half fried from a lack of sleep. And this can be pretty hard, especially when you are doing something like a very important scholarship level contest. Okay, or even if you are doing a contest where you're representing your country or have a shot at representing your country if you do well on this. And things like that will only come around every once in a while. Okay, you write the Euclid. You can write the Euclid grade 9, grade 10, whatever, but it's your grade 12 year, that's the Euclid that matters in terms of impressing people and looking at scholarships. And it's sort of like, when you're really young, kid before Christmas, what am I going to get, what am I going to get? You can stay up the whole night fretting and worrying, and it's not going to help you. Okay, there's no way you can make yourself better by worrying about your abilities and your progress the next day. Okay, but you can seriously affect your health that day, and that can seriously affect your performance. So get a good night's sleep, or if it's a later in the day sort of thing, you might even want to consider taking a nap. Although sometimes you can try and take a nap. I know I've done this in my adult life. Try and take a nap midday, and your sleep cycle gets interrupted, and you're actually worse off. Judge for yourself what's best, but above all, get a good night's sleep. On the day of, make sure you are drinking water, having a good breakfast, good lunch, that sort of stuff. Making sure to take the time to put good food in your body. Little things like that. Most of you are going to say, hey, that's obvious. Yeah, but sometimes you can get worried, and you can stress eat some junk food that will make you feel sort of sloshy or sluggish later when you're actually writing the contest. Or you can even forget to eat breakfast altogether or something like that. Okay? So you want to do that. Especially drinking water is good in the couple hours leading up to the contest. Not only is it important to stay hydrated, not unlike an actual sport, but there have been, or at least I've heard there are sort of studies that show that people can think better under the pressure of having a bit of a full bladder. And so, if you want that edge, go for it. Other things to do, if it's a longer contest, which, say the Waterloo ones, they're an hour, they're over, they're done with, don't worry about it. But if it's a longer contest like the Putnam is a grand contest, and as I recall, it takes 6 hours, like 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon. You want to make sure you have yourself a good and satisfying lunch. And you also probably don't want to be waiting in line, taking time that you could be to relax or think about something. So I would suggest, if you are writing a longer contest, or if you're writing a series of contests in a day, and that can happen occasionally depending on where you are and what contests you're planning on writing. Or, even this would be good advice if you're writing exams, and you have a couple in a day. Pack yourself your lunch. That way you don't have to worry about it. That stuff is, if you pack it, it's taken care of in the short term of the day before. That way you don't need to worry about where am I going to get my food, what am I going to buy. You don't decide to just buy a chocolate bar at the vending machine because you're so stressed out. Okay. In terms of getting there, so you should already have your transportation and everything arranged, but make sure you try and get to the contest early, the location early. And that gives you more time to relax before the competition. And relaxing is incredibly key. You don't want to be flipping through your books, still trying to learn that one last theorem, or try and memorize that one last set of numbers, or go through a whole other contest before you're about to write another contest. Save your brain, okay? Because it's the contest you write that's important, not the practicing all the way up to 5 minutes before you go in. So above all, don't cram. Okay, you can, and this has happened to me before, not for a contest, but for an exam. I was cramming all the way up until we actually wrote the exam. And I got some concepts that I had sort of just flipped through and said, okay, yeah, I remember that. And when I was trying to remember them during my exam, I got the concepts actually switched around. In the end results of the theorems that I thought I had memorized, I did not. And so you want to not cram. You want to, I mean, you can still, if it's a later in the day sort of contest, you can still do some casual review, read some solutions, watch some videos online early, but sort of knock that off an hour or two before the contest. You want to just sort of stop, let your brain assimilate what it has, and this goes hand in hand with being relaxed. We are relaxed not when we think we've filled up our knowledge tank to capacity, which some people try and do by cramming. We are relaxed when we know what we know and accept what we don't know. Okay? That's more important advice, say, for writing a final exam in high school or university than it can be for a contest. But it's still good. You're relaxed when you accept how good you are and accept where you can fail. And knowing where you can fail can be very important for your contest, because if I had a choice between writing an algebra question or, say, a geometry question, I know I'm a little weaker on geometry, especially 3D geometry, so I wouldn't, if I was given the choice between the two, I would focus on the algebra question because I know that I can do that well. And we'll talk about more about that sort of stuff when I talk about and do a video on what to do when you're actually in the contest. But a lot of these concepts, they tend to overlap, and the most important thing you can do for a contest is to go into it relaxed. Especially for a contest, the ultimate goal is to have fun. I know that there are things that are riding on the line of them, scholarships or school prestige, but just try and remember that the idea is to have fun, even if there are consequences later. And we do better generally when we're not stressed. Okay, so if you're worrying about the consequences, you're not in the moment, and you can really ruin your chances on certain things. Okay, so that's sort of day of. I will, as I said, talk about what to do actually in the contest in another video. But for now, I just want to sort of lay out the very, very short term, as in night before, get a good night's sleep. Day of, make sure you're eating nutritiously, and make sure you're not cramming up into the last few seconds. Relax, take it easy. You're there. You just got to now do it. Okay? So I'll see you guys in the next video.